Alright, so in this video, I want to talk about who is God. We're gonna crush it right there with who is God. And I'm gonna blow your mind real quick if you listen. Okay, so who is God? First off, you take the word good, G-O-O-D, goddammit. You take G-O-O-D, you take away an O, and then you got God. Okay? So God is good. Now, who is God the Father? So God the Father, right? What does Father mean? When you get into Father, you change the A and the E, or you F and the A, you change that to an E and the A. You take the A and the E, and then you got ether. God is the ether. Now, what do you have in the ether that makes it the Father? You have laws. You have things that you can and can't do as far as gravity goes. And I'm talking as far as any species. Any species has rules. Birds fly, humans walk. Birds walk, humans can hold their breath underwater and swim and get wet. Birds, they take baths, but I don't know if they can dog ass get wet, put baby oil on and all that. They might not be able to fly, right? So it's different rules for every single thing, like just like white people and black people and the Arabs and Asians and the Samoans all have different cultures. Each species on Earth has a different culture of rules, and that's dictated by God the Father. Now, when I say God the Father, I mean we're all in one space, right? We're all here on Earth in the atmosphere. And in that atmosphere, you have certain codes, if you will, of of possibilities. And the species that you are, in a way, kind of determines what codes dictate your experience in this reality, in this atmosphere. For instance, you have magnetic fields on Earth, and I'm going to get into electromagnetism briefly here, but more in depth in a later vid. So when you have something like electromagnetism and you have something like electromagnetic beings with electronic, we have electronic pulses throughout our hearts and yada, 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 brain signals and all this, then you could control, you control whatever you need to control, really. There's nothing different than a computer program or press and play on a YouTube video or a video that was shot before, and now you're just playing it, right? So now you're just playing a program, right? Think about that. You record a video and you play it on any screen that can play a video. And even though you're a 3D person and all this type of stuff, and you're in a 3-dimensional or whatever dimensional world, that screen, excluding all this is 2022 when I'm saying this, and I'm not talking about any advanced technology. I'm just talking about just trying to make a point. And you view a video on flat screen, you are constricting our dimension, the 3-dimensional world, to a 2-dimensional world, with no smell, no touch, no, you take away all those senses. You got sight though, or you got hearing. You know what I'm saying? Everything else you kind of got to fill in with your imagination. But how interesting is that you are pretty much dumbing down an event, and to be able to display it in that way. That's just something else to think about. But God the Father, that's what I mean. When you think about Father, you think about a rule or something like that. So when you talk about God the Father, it's more like it's the Father is just. So that's why I say the ether, because the ether is always there, even when it's there, it's not there. It's the air. It's basically the full electromagnetic spectrum, the full one, from basically is no beginning and no end. That type of thing is all the possibilities, all the outcomes, all the scenarios that could ever happen, and everything. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about God the Father. Now, I don't want this video to be confused with putting a face or any type of graven image to God. What this video is intended to do is take that away, because in the Bible it says no graven image. You can't really, do that. And I think you shouldn't do that, but I think it's more so like you can't really do that, because you got to think like all of the spectrums out there. The humans have a spectrum of experience. Dogs have a spectrum of experience. Cats have a spectrum of experience. All cultures and races have different spectrums of experience. All people have different spectrums of experience. Women and men and female and male animals have different spectrums of experience. So really can't so it's really hard for me to sit here and say what and what isn't God and all this type of stuff. My thing about God and God the Father is the limitlessness of it. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, I would think that it would be, but I don't know.